I'm LeGrand Elliott.
I'm Cindy Ayers Elliott.
And we have a brand new show called Ag and Culture. We'll be discussing all things agriculture.
But more specifically, how it affects farmers and ranchers of color with national and local guests.
And of course, we're talking culture, food, wine, health, politics, education, and so much more.
Join us for informative and fun conversation with guests from all over the country.
It's a fresh new show, Ag and Culture, every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. on the East, and 7 a.m. on the West.
Watch us on our YouTube channel, MS Footprint Farms.
And on WeBelieve.global. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to our new show, Ag and Culture. I'm your host, LeGrand Elliott, and my lovely co-host is...
I'm Cindy Ayers Elliott. Good morning.
Welcome to the show, Ag and Culture. This show is going to explore everything agriculture, but more specifically, how does it affect communities, farmers, and ranchers of color? We'll have local, national experts from all over the country to discuss everything that affects us in agriculture. So, Dr. Ayers, with that, we'll be talking about everything from planting in your backyard or your patio to understanding your rights as air property. Right?
Absolutely. We're going to be talking about and giving good information about what you can do even starting today. Even if you have a coffee can, you can start farming today. And we want to tell you how we can do that.
That is so exciting. We're so excited that everyone is joining us. We wanted to give something new, something fresh, and we really want to talk from a agriculture diaspora. We really want to dive into air property. We want to dive into how do I eat more healthier. We want to look at all of those things. Of course, we're going to talk culture. We're going to talk health. Talk food, education, music, politics, and we're going to really boil all that stuff down and see how it actually comes back to agriculture. So we're excited, but our show, we want to make sure that it's very interactive. We don't want to just sit here and watch us talk and look nice on set, right? We want this to be very educational. We want people to really get into it. We want to actually, you guys give us calls. We can reach us out on Facebook. We should be live. What's up, everybody? We're live. What's going on?
We are. Hello.
Facebook is Footprint Farms. Instagram is Footprint Farms as well. Hit us on the website, footprintfarmsms.com.
Absolutely. That's our website. You can go into footprintfarmms.com and see everything that we're doing from our website. But you can also go into YouTube, go into Instagram, and you can actually see some of the things we've been doing over these last 10 years on Instagram.
Absolutely. And if you're old school like I am, you can call us at 800-492-5186 if you're not too slick on the social media. But also, you can also reach us locally on the farm, 601-910-5534. We'll have more information on when our farmers markets are open, when we'll be back at the farmers market, and when you can come out to the farm. But also, more importantly, please subscribe to our new YouTube channel, MS Footprint Farms. This is one of our first of many episodes. We're so excited about 2022.
We are.
And I couldn't think of a better guest to start this show off with than none other than my co-host, founder, president of Footprint Farms, a beautiful 68-acre farm located in the heart of West Jackson, Mississippi, none other than Dr. Cindy Ayers Elliott.
Okay, LeGrand, you're being very nice. He usually calls me Mom, but in this case, he's LeGrand. So listen, we're excited about this show and about what we're doing right here in our city of Jackson.
Sure.
You know, Footprint Farms is a staple, and we want it to be more than it's ever been before because we want more people to know about Footprint Farm, what's there, and our mission. And our mission is to bring access to local healthy foods, right. And everyone can come in to eat healthy and on a budget. So We're excited about that and what we're doing.
Very exciting stuff. And Sid, I don't know if you're there in the control room. Can you bring up a picture of Dr. Ayers, just that beautiful drone shot we have of a farm?
You know what?
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's it. And that's our 68 acres. Most of it you can see, LeGrand, with our high tunnels that we do a lot of growing in. Of course, you can't see our ag center, which is on the side by itself. Our lake is on the back. You can't see our cows yet, but you will. They're around, they're roaming. But this is what we do. And we've been here for since 1994 as far as having the land, but only since 2010 for actually farming.
So let me stop you right there.
Okay.
And that's what we want to get into. You've had this beautiful property, since the 90s.
Yes.
And you decided to get into farming in 2010. And just full disclosure for everyone, I thought my mom was a little bit off a rocker a little bit. When you go from being, someone, a C-suite executive person doing Wall Street banking to one day you want to start a farm in 2010. So tell me, what was that morning like when you woke up and said, you know what, I want to start farming?
Well, you know, after 9/11, life changed for a lot of people, including us and with me and so many other friends.
Yes.
And when I came back home full time, I was determined not to go back to the life. We've had so much fun as an investment banker. We actually traveled the world. We worked with a lot of farmers, a lot of cultural good friends that we've made throughout these years. But you know what? I clicked the heels and there's no place like home. So when I got back in, it says, what can I do? Everybody's doing such great work. You know, where can I fit in? And for us, it was looking at economics, which is what I know, doing and how do we develop. I've helped other countries and people do a lot of great things for their communities. Why not for my own? So Footprint Farms started to evolve into where we are today.
So the name, Footprint, very interesting name, very interesting how you came up with that name. So just share with the listeners and our subscribers exactly how did you come up with that name, Footprint Farms?
Well, you know, when you were tossing names around what fit, nothing would stick except that. Because, listen, I knew nothing about farming, the physical farming. I knew a lot about policies, and I knew a lot about how do you get people to do some different things, but never about actually working in the soil. So I was looking at what am I going to do, and all at once it just, you know how it just comes and said this is the right one. Because you know, when you think about the poem Footprint or how the biblical piece is that, you know, you said, why did you forsake me? And the good Lord said, I did not forsake you because you saw the footprints on the sand.
Oh, wow.
He says, but they said, well, I only see one set. He says, at that time, I was carrying you. So I feel like we're being carried now.
Wow.
And those footprints are not monsters in the sand. But we're here to help stand on those shoulders of our ancestors and of our sheroes and heroes to do what we need to do and to make a difference. And right now, that is our mission. How can we honor our ancestors? How can we bring economic development? How can we make this a better place, healthier place? Because when we look at what's happening right now with us as a people, and our children as being a diabetic or looking at hypertension and blood pressure, we need to look at what's causing this and how do we do things differently.
Right. And that brings me to my next point. You work with people, I would say large organizations, and that's the different thing about, you know, the Footprint Farms. It's a little bit different from your traditional farm. I would consider a non-traditional urban farm, because you do so many other different things outside of just the task at hand is farming. You guys, we're working with Kellogg's Foundation. You're working with one of the largest pharmaceutical makers in the world, Novo Nordisk. Can you just talk about that a little bit, especially with Novo? And obviously, you know, we're considered the diabetic capital of the world here in Mississippi. How has that relationship been with Novo to actually start writing pharmacy with an F versus writing pharmacy with a P?
And that's a great analogy of this, because for us, this is our business. So in order to do a business, you have to look at every full scope of it. It's not just one thing. It's not just putting a seed in the soil. It's about the seeds in the minds. And this, as we would do any other business, is that you got to have a plan. You got to have a group that you're going to go to and have your end results met. So Novo Nordisk, looking at them as the largest of insulin, and how much money Mississippi alone and black people in general spend with Novo Nordisk for just controlling their diabetes. So we went to them and with the concept of let's do a trial program. And we're actually working now with a lot of the federal health clinics with diabetes prevention program throughout the state, especially through the Delta, which is in our hearts for making a difference, because our great-great-grandparents is there.
The Mississippi Delta,
the Mississippi Delta right now, but this is also a program that will be cloned. We're looking at how we can do this in other places. And they're looking at how do we take this to other parts of the country.
So with this program, you're actually bringing in basically what we call CSA, or community service agriculture. You're providing that group of foods boxed up, and it's being sent to those people that are in this program with Novo Nordisk, the diabetic maker.
Absolutely.
I mean, the insulin maker.
We're doing 15 pounds of food every 2 weeks to community people that are in the clinics. And we don't know who these people are. We know that the doctors do. That's why the prescription comes in. So what we do know is that the diabetes numbers are down, the blood pressures are down, less medication is being used, which is the reason now we're in our 4th year with Novo Nordisk of supplying and working with this. But the other great part about this is that we get to work with all the other farmers, black farmers who look like us, to help bring in those fresh produce that we need in order to eat healthier.
Right, and that's the thing about it, and I'm glad you said that. It's a great, we're pretty good. This is a great segue into my next thing is that, you know, being that obviously you're doing something on that scale, that means it has to be really scaled from a capacity standpoint. So that's where your relationships with other local farmers, specifically other local Black farmers of colors,
yes,
color that you are reaching out to and using some of their produce as well and giving them a market that they otherwise may not have had.
Well, the great thing about this is that we can build ourselves, and by being farmers, we work in the soil and grow some great products. The problem has been, where do we take it?
Sure.
How do we make money with this?
Right.
So being able to work with the farmers and our universities, Alcorn State University,
Yes.
working with USDA, especially NRCS, we're able to get together to do training and to train so that we can properly grow. Because when you're doing this as a business, you got to make sure every scope of it is correct.
And when you say NCRS for NRCS, for the folks who are listening and maybe tuning in to agriculture for the first time like we are, but also have been reading and researching on farming, what does NRCS?
Well, NRCS is Natural Resource Conservation Services, which is only one of the fingers of the hand of USDA.
Okay.
And right here for us, that is one of the lifesavers for small farmers, is getting into these programs. And these programs actually bring education,
Sure.
they bring know-how, and they also give you financial support on some things that help you to help yourself, to help the land. NRCS is all about taking care of the earth, and we have to be good stewards, even in growing food, to the earth, to make sure that it's here for the next generation.
Gotcha.
So for us to be able to work with these type of organizations, with our universities, our ag universities, and to bring this in is a part of it. Now, for a lot of our traditional farmers, older farmers who've been farming a whole lot longer than I have, we do things a little differently, but we're also bringing that new wave of what we can do to make farming, first of all, economically feasible,
Sure.
financially,
Sure.
but also to bring in more new farmers, young farmers,
Yeah.
and for them to actually make a living and a career with that.
And that's the thing about it, you know, people, you know, it's not as traditional as it used to be.
Yeah.
Sid, I've got another beautiful picture of one of the high tunnels that we use there. I took this photo maybe about 2 days ago.
Yes.
So this is not a stock video. This is something that I just shot a few days ago. And Dr. Ayers, explain to us a little bit what we're looking at here.
Well, actually, this is one of 10 tunnels that we grow in, and these are called high tunnels, HIGH tunnels, which is a part of USDA NRCS programs.
Right.
So in this, and it's from our great farmer that we have on the farm with us as well, Danny Murray,
Yes.
and Mr. Will that's
Yes.
there, and Wendy, and so many
Yes.
others that help. But this is called kale. This is our kale tunnel. Do you know there's almost 20 different types of kale that you can actually grow, and all good and healthy for you,
Yes.
and not this one kale
Right.
that we've known all our lives.
Right, just the kale.
So right now you're looking at, this is actually Dave's kale. We have some Russian kale that's in there as well. We also have one of our new ones, which is Portuguese kale.
Yes, that's one
and
of my favorites.
It is creamy, and you would think you're eating lettuce,
And
but
it
it's
looks
something
like,
that's good
and
for
it's
you.
shaped like, it almost looks like a collar.
It looks like a collar.
You know, so,
It does.
And it's almost like kale now is you know, it's for a while now, it's the new buzzword. Everybody's on the kale shakes, or they're on the kale this, kale that. But the whole point of it, I'm like, good, run with that, right? Because we need to inspire to be healthier, and I love it that people are getting really so into it, and that farming and food has become sexy. It's a thing now.
It is, and the thing about this, it's great for our palate. It
Yes.
tastes good.
Yes, it does.
It reminds us of our traditional greens of turnips
Yes.
and collards. So
Right.
this is another part, but that's one of 10. We also have other tunnels that we're growing: Swiss chard, spinach, lettuce. We're looking at new ways of even growing water-based. We're now growing in just water. So
Call that
something new is coming.
aeroponics,
It's called
AERO.
aeroponics, which is water-based.
Right.
So we're looking at new ways that you can grow inside your home or in your backyard. But now you can grow what LeGrand just showed you in a coffee can or in a little farm in a box.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hey, everybody's watching us. I'm watching some of these come
hi.
down. Saying, hello, everyone. Good morning to y'all. Thank you. We're looking good. I appreciate that. You guys can chime in the show anytime you get ready. We're live on air with all your questions. As many as we can answer. If not, we can get somebody to answer them for you. 800-492-5186.
Heifer USA is a leader in regenerative agricultural practices, like our pastured pork production operation. Raising pigs on pasture allows the animals to flourish in their natural habitat while building organic soil matter and restoring soil biodiversity. And we're sharing our knowledge with viewers like you with in-depth training videos on raising pastured pork, poultry, cattle, and sheep. Find us on YouTube at Heifer USA and join our online community of regenerative ranchers today.
Footprint Farms is a beautiful 68-acre vegetable and cattle farm located in Jackson, Mississippi, and is Mississippi's largest urban farm. The mission of Footprint Farms is to provide the community access to healthy food choices, introduce our youth to agriculture, and provide training and technical assistance to small farmers and ranchers. The farm is open to the public every Friday from 2:30 to 5:30 p.m. to purchase fresh produce or visit us at the Mississippi Farmers Market located near the fairgrounds in February. We accept all forms of payment, including EBT and SNAP benefits. Looking for a beautiful venue for your next wedding, family reunion, or dinner? Footprint Farms offers a 3,000 square foot facility on 5 beautiful acres, perfect for your next event. For more information, visit our website at footprintfarms.com, Facebook and Instagram at Footprint Farms, or call us at 601-910-5534. Footprint Farms, farm fresh, city sweet. Dr. Ayers.
You're right, and the great thing about that, if they email us or text us,
Yes.
we will get back with them.
Yes.
Because what we want to show today is that what will be coming, and this
Yes.
is the exciting part.
This
You
is
can
the
help
exciting part.
You can help us do this. We want to know what are some of the questions you want to know about. We're going to bring in those experts, including NRCS Director for the state of Mississippi, Mr. Kurt Reedus himself will be here.
Absolutely.
And the Undersecretary of Ag also. We have one of the Undersecretaries with us as well. So we're going to be looking from locally, nationally, and we are impacted by everything that happens.
We really are, and that's what we want to do. That's the whole point of this show, is to bring you in the information, not to hear us talk, but to really bring you some real information you can take back and take home and actually start. So let's go back to this high tonal, and I want to be very intentional when I say this.
Yes.
When I look at that, and for a lot of us don't know, and correct me if I'm wrong, that high tunnel was actually funded by the U.S. government, correct?
As part of NRCS, of the United States Department of Ag, which is one of the practices that's used in agriculture, and it's called high tunnel growing.
Right.
And we grow all year. That photo was yesterday, a couple of days ago.
Yes, that was maybe 2 days ago.
So, you know, it doesn't matter what the temperature is outside, we can still grow inside. And when you look at this, the sides and the back, this is actually 2,100 square feet of veggies right there.
I mean, that's and so if you're looking at that, and the thing about this is, in looking at the kale, you can pick this stuff and it'll be growing back in the next few days.
It'll last for almost 7 months.
Yes.
Just by going in, harvesting it, and taking care of it.
Right.
And it goes back to having a great team at Footprint, because it's so much more than just one. It's a whole great group of people that's out there who does everything from the planting to the harvesting to the packaging to making sure that every health part of this is correct.
Being followed and being correctly. And that's the thing about it. We talked about the technical support. And for a lot of us, it might be like, wow, you know, USDA does that. Wow. And that's the thing that I want to really dive into, is that you don't know what you don't know. And you don't know that what's out there. Just that simple tunnel there. And we have about 9 of them, 10 of them.
Yes, we have
that
10.
we grow out of. But those are programs that are government dollars through USDA and through, like you said, the fingers and hands of FSA and NRCS, that from a technical side of it, a lot of our farmers don't know sometimes that those exist, or they don't have the technical mechanisms, because everything now is you have to fill it out online, and sometimes the application process can be a bit intimidating. But you know, how is there help for farmers who need to say, hey, I want to go after this practice, or I need this fencing, or I need this water trough, or whatever, but they are a little bit intimidated by that technical process? Is there help out there for that?
Absolutely, there's help, but let me be real clear. Going into farming as a business, then you want to make sure that you got your business plan. You want to know who you're going to be selling to. So this is an important part as well. Yes, there is help there to assist, but you got to have some skin in the game as well, and knowing how to do this. But there are places that is available to go in. You can go in and visit your USDA office. Every county in the state has one. So Hinds County, which is the county we're in, it's right on Highway 18. So give them a call, and there's some great people that can help. And start with your business plan. But you got to have a farm and a farm number. But listen, you can start growing right now in your backyard.
You just rewind the tape. You just said a lot there about farm numbers,
Yes.
and so let's kind of go back.
Okay.
And you said that if you're aspiring and somebody has an epiphany like you did, and wake up one morning, hey, I want to be a farmer. So, and I have this great land, and I think that I have, but I want to start farming. What is the first thing? You mentioned a farm number. How
Yes.
important is that, and what is a farm number?
It's very important. First of all, if you're looking to get into this, even if you maybe want to do it in 5 years from now, go into the office, and this farm number is free. It doesn't cost anything.
Okay.
And what this does is actually put you into the United States Department of Agriculture system.
Okay.
That you have land, either own or leasing of
Okay.
land, that you actually can put into practice.
So you don't have to physically, you can lease the land, you don't necessarily
Yes.
have to outright own it in order to get a farm number.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You just got to have access or control of that particular size. For instance, with footprint farms, a lot of the tunnels that you see are all part of our farmers that we work together in our cooperative on.
Yes, yes.
So some of those tunnels there belong to different farmers.
Correct.
That's on the farm that we are working at uniform together under footprint farms.
Yes.
So this is another part of how you do partnership,
Yes.
how you take the land and help the community
Absolutely.
make an impact. So some of my farmers there don't have tunnels yet.
Yeah.
They hopefully will when they're ready. Until then, we have enough, and the training side, you know,
Yes.
again, it's important.
Right.
But going into NRCS office and talking about it, they're there for that. That's one of the reasons they exist.
Now these offices, obviously we're speaking from a Mississippi point of view, but in any state that you're in,
Any state, in any county, in any state
any
you're
county
in.
of the state that you're
Yes.
in, so it's not a Mississippi
It's
thing.
not just
From
a
a
Mississippi
USDA
thing.
standpoint, you can be in any city in any state, and you just go to that county, and they have that county resource that's a part of USDA that can help you get started with the farm number and all these things.
You can also go into your universities, and of course, we believe in our HBCUs.
Absolutely.
So in their extension program, a part of the university system, there are people there too that can actually help you to help direct. And
Yeah.
again, you need a plan. But you need to enroll your property because there's so many things that we don't know
Right.
that's available that we can utilize our land for.
Absolutely.
Even if it's just planting trees.
Right.
You should not just be paying taxes.
That's right.
You should be looking at some revenue for legacy.
That's
if
right.
it's not for you, then for your children and
Yeah.
your grandchildren.
Shouts out to all the HBCUs.
Yes.
Which camera? Shouts out to all the HBCUs. Divine Nine.
Yes.
Happy early Delta-versary to all the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta. I want to mess that up. Like, boy. But anyway.
And
the ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha. I'd be
Absolutely.
remiss of that. And of course, all the brothers, and of course the brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi.
Yes, but
What's
to
up?
all of our Divine Nine, which are truly
Yeah.
divine, with a mission to help make a difference in the community wherever they are.
Absolutely.
Throughout this country, the legacies live and they're alive and well and making a difference to impact people, which is what this is all about.
And that's the beauty of it. And that's the culture part. Then that's when we get to the culture part. Then that's the beauty of this show. We want to explore all of that. So we'll be
Yes.
having guests that are going to appear that just so happen to be this or just so happen to be that, but the end result is still the same. Which again, Dr. Ayers, you're really good at this because that's another segue.
Okay.
You are 2 for 2, girl. But anyway, so we've done a lot of great things on the culture side. We've actually had a little bit of scratch of the bug of Hollywood.
Yes.
You want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, we've got some great friends. You know, when
Oh
you
my God,
when you
who's
go
that?
out. Well, that just happens to be Kevin Hart at Footprint Farms
Yeah.
on the tractor. And believe
Yeah.
me, he started the tractor and my heart went, oh my gosh, Kevin, please don't mess up anything.
First of all, Kevin did not start the track, but keep going.
Yeah, he did. The great part about this is part of our agritourism is being out there. That's the reason you're present on websites and having
Yes.
your information available is good.
Yes.
We've had Kevin Hart come to the farm
Yeah.
to do a segment.
Yeah.
We had Rita,
Yeah.
Rita B, who's
Yeah.
a part of that, was actually
Exactly.
got her big push
And
with Kevin.
there was a big economic boost
Yes.
because Kevin had his production folks here on the ground for at least a week and a half. He was here, and it was very heartfelt that he felt really good about what was going on out here, to the point so where I think I don't know if we ever shot that, but your old bus we call Pinky,
Yes.
He actually took that bus and custom wrapped it for you as a gesture of just saying, sister, keep what you're doing, keep on what you're doing.
Absolutely. A big part of what he did when he was in Jackson was actually use the bus as part of his filming.
Right.
And we had Hollywood there. I mean, we
Yes.
had producers and directors and cameras all going on in Jackson, Mississippi on Footprint Farms. And it was exciting. And also with that, we also had some great chefs on ground.
And that's what I was going to say. You know, we had to feed all these people, and it was great to be able to let them actually sample and use the vegetables that we were growing there on site. It was pretty amazing. And shouts out to Kevin for just looking at Jackson, and we have so much talent in Jackson. It just helped, and I know it helped propel the Rita B's of the world, who got highlighted and focused on for that national show that night. So just kudos to Kevin for doing that. We've also still kind of having that Hollywood bug a little bit. If you guys subscribe to Discovery Plus, we actually have a segment on there called American Story, and it's part of a 9-series program. It's a documentary, but it's highlighting people around the country that are doing some amazing things in farming, and we just so happened to land episode 8. And Discovery Plus is a part of the Magnolia production, which is Chip and Joanna Gaines. If you're familiar with that, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Oh, absolutely. This is exciting. Chip and Joanne now have Magnolia Network, so you can actually go into that network to see this. But even before they launched, they were doing things throughout the country. And Footprint Farms was one of those who was selected. And if you go into Discovery Plus, and we're Series 7, but it is the American Story, and it actually talks about and it highlights the farm, every aspect that we do, and we're excited to be a part of that.
Dr. Ed, I'm actually be like Puff Daddy and turn your headphones up a little bit.
Oh my goodness.
I think we got some callers.
Exciting.
I think our producer's been waiting at me like, dude, what are you doing? No, we have some callers. We're glad we have some callers. Good morning. This is our first caller for our first episode of Ag and Culture. Good morning. How are you?
I am well. Thank you so much. I think you all are doing a phenomenal job, and it's so informative. I have a question about what is agritourism and the importance within the community.
Okay, agritourism.
Oh, great. That's a great one. May I?
Yeah.
First of all, thank you for calling, and you're our first. We're going to make sure we get your name or email that to me so I'll know.
Definitely.
But agritourism is this. It's tourism done with agriculture. For instance, everybody know about tourism, going to look at New Orleans or other places. For agritourism is bringing you actually to look at agriculture to the farms. We want you to look at how we grow our food and growing food. We want you to be on the grounds of the farm, to come in and bring our children so they'll know truly where milk comes from, where your veggies come from. It's not just a grocery store. It's from the earth, it's from the soil, and it's from farmers like me that help to produce that. That's the important part. But the other side is the culture piece. We actually have this great tunnel that we do training in, as well as dinners. We've hosted
Can
several
I get my producer
dinners.
say it? Can you pull that up for me?
We've hosted dinners on the farm. These are called farm-to-table dinners. This is one inside of the tunnel where we actually had, this is pre-COVID with this one. We actually did a dinner on farm before we did our Magnolia Network, which is one of the things we're doing on the farm that we're doing for training.
But just so you know, this is when we talk about agritourism, this is a highlight. This is actually on our farm. We actually have this tunnel that's solely dedicated for events like this and also training. So when we talk about agritourism and a non-traditional agriculture, that's what it looks like. You can actually have your farm and look at, other than just growing and yielding, what else can I do to bring added value to my farm, whether that's a hayride, whether that's a pumpkin patch maze, or whether that's a corn maze, or maybe it's a farm-to-table dinner such as this. Nonetheless, it's non-traditional revenues for a farm, and that's thus, when we say agribusiness, that's exactly what we're talking about.
So we can look at doing family reunions here. We can come in and do training, which we do training in that same space. That's almost 3,000 square feet of space right there on the farm. But of course, beside that is 5 more acres. So it's a safe venue to come in, to picnic, to talk about, to actually do movie night. We'll be doing more things like this right on the farm, where you can come and bring your family or come in and experience the whole whole part of farm life, and also be able to buy some great food while you're there.
Yeah, I'm looking at viral screen. Yes, we actually have dinosaur. We have dinosaur kale. We have creamy curly kale. We have Portuguese. We have Russian. Absolutely, we have some dragon for you.
Absolutely, and we're looking to actually grow some more. And this is a area of expertise for our farmer Danny. I mean, he loves growing the kale, and the kale is also very nutritious there. But we're also doing spinach and Swiss chard. But if you hadn't tried this kale, or you've had kale and says, I hate kale, you've not had Footprint Farms kale.
That's right. And the motto for Footprint Farms is Farm Fresh and
City Sweet.
I love it. I love that. We still want to get more of your calls. We have a little bit more of the show, but we're glad you're enjoying the show. This is just the first of many great episodes that we'll have with just great guests and just great information, just having fun and talking agriculture and talking about culture. You guys can reach out to us. You can see the crawl around the screen, 800-492-5186. Dr. Ayers, this 30 minutes kind of went by a little fast.
But before we go on that.
But we're not gone.
Oh, okay.
We're
good.
not gone.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I was saying all that to say, to really give you some really last words, if you will. Just about, first of all, congratulations. You were named, and Footprint Farms was named Farm of the Year. You want to talk about that?
Absolutely. We were named, and we're so grateful to the Mississippi Association of Cooperatives, the Southern Federation of Farmers, Alcorn State University for naming Footprint Farms as Farm of the Year for 2021, which says a lot when your peers are recognizing, but also in the work that we've done.
Right.
But LeGrand, still the biggest part about that, and that's an honor, and we do thank you for that, is that we know that we're making a difference in our community. We're partnering, like you said, with great organizations, Kellogg's, Nova Nordis, but also our local groups with the City of Jackson, Hinds County, with several of our insurance companies, agencies.
Yes, we did some great things with their Farm to Fork program with United Healthcare.
United Health, with United Way is a big partner for us. Greater Jackson Arts Council, where they're bringing food, and we're able to help bring this in, and there's no cost to our recipients.
Heifer USA is a leader in regenerative agricultural practices, like our pastured pork production operation. Raising pigs on pasture allows the animals to flourish in their natural habitat while building organic soil matter and restoring soil biodiversity. And we're sharing our knowledge with viewers like you with in-depth training videos on raising pastured pork, poultry, cattle, and sheep. Find us on YouTube at Heifer USA and join our online community of regenerative ranchers today.
Footprint Farms is a beautiful 68-acre vegetable and cattle farm located in Jackson, Mississippi, and is Mississippi's largest urban farm. The mission of Footprint Farms is to provide the community access to healthy food choices, introduce our youth to agriculture, and provide training and technical assistance to small farmers and ranchers. The farm is open to the public every Friday from 2:30 to 5:30 p.m. to purchase fresh produce or visit us at the Mississippi Farmers Market located near the fairgrounds in February. We accept all forms of payment, including EBT and SNAP benefits. Looking for a beautiful venue for your next wedding, family reunion, or dinner? Footprint Farms offers a 3,000 square foot facility on 5 beautiful acres, perfect for your next event. For more information, visit our website at footprintfarms.com, Facebook and Instagram at Footprint Farms, or call us at 601-910-5534. Footprint Farms, farm fresh, city sweet. Thank you so much to our sponsor, Heifer International, for over 75 years. Heifer has been helping farmers sustain and make a good living all around the world, and they do it every day for people around the world. So I always challenge you to go to heifer.org, see what they're doing, and see how you can help Heifer continue their mission around the world. And with that being said, it's just such a great segue to announce our first guest from Heifer. They've been a sponsor since day one. We appreciate them so much, but they're live and direct this morning, and we have Miss Ruth Canada-Painter. She is the Heifer USA Engagement and Outreach Program Officer that's located in Little Rock. So good morning from Big Little Rock, Arkansas.
Morning.
How are you?
Good morning.
Welcome to Agriculture. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, Ms. Painter, we're so excited. I'm excited for you to be here because, like I said, Heifer has been with us since day one, since we started this. We're still new to this. This is episode 6, but we're so thankful for what you guys bring and what you're doing for agriculture around the world. And want to get you on this morning to talk about a few things, but I just want to back up and let people know exactly your pedigree and exactly who you are. You are a proud graduate of Lincoln University. One of our land grant HBCUs around the country. We're proud to have that. You are also, let me get this right because it's a mouthful, you are a certified ecological outcome verifier, which is an EOV, and we'll get into that exactly what that means and how that affects farming. But the thing that I'm really impressed about, you are a certified master gardener. Yes. Which I want to definitely hear more about that and the great things that you are bringing aboard to Heifer. So without further ado,
yes,
saying doctor, you're a doctor of gardening, so I will call you doctor in some way, Dr. Ruth Canada-Painter. Good morning, Ms. Painter. We'll just kind of let you start and let you go. And number one, exactly what your role is at Heifer and some of the great things that Heifer and you are doing in the state of Mississippi.
Well, good morning, everyone. I started with Heifer about 8 months ago. I relocated here from Jefferson City, Missouri, which is, the home of Lincoln University. That's right. Where I work at the College of Agriculture. And one of the first things that I was told is that you're going to be working in Mississippi a lot. And I had no clue what that meant. And as we started to talk, I realized that this was probably a dream job for me because I get to work with small farmers, under-resourced and diverse farmers, and I get to have fun doing it.
Well, good. Like I said, we're so glad to have you on and to really talk about that. And that's so needed from a technical standpoint to have your type of expertise that can go out and really help our farmers, not just kind of tell them what they need to do, but really put a plan of action in place to actually show them and help them actually follow through with those plans. So definitely that technical support and outreach is definitely needed, and we're so glad you guys have chosen the state of Mississippi to do that. In saying that, with the state of Mississippi, just talk a little bit about what you're doing. We've actually been running the promo from Heifer as it talks about the pork program that you guys have started in Mississippi. Can you expound on that for us?
Well, sure. Heifer USA is a little different than Heifer International, which, as you said, has been around for 75 years. Mm-hmm. But we're fairly new with what we're doing now with pork production in the state of Missouri. And we support small-scale, sustainable crop and livestock businesses. Mm-hmm. And one of our anchor farms is in Starkville, Mississippi. Mm-hmm. And we help farmers get involved in pastured pork production. When I first came to start talking to people in Mississippi, I realized that swine, had a really bad name because they were envisioning pigs in a barn, where you're hosing it down every night. And regenerative agriculture is different. Pigs get to do what pigs do, root in the forest and, get to be happy pigs. Right. So we work with farmers to get involved in pastured pork production, and we assist them with technical support. But most importantly, I think we find a market for their animals at the end of the process. So the farmer can really concentrate on being a farmer, not on having to go out and do marketing or figure out, okay, I've raised this, 80 pigs, so what am I going to do with them now? Right. So we work as a team. We work in collaboration with 3 separate entities that really support the farmer, and that's Heifer USA, Cypress Valley Meat Company, and Grassroots Farmers Cooperative. And so by working with those 3 entities, we can sort of take a lot of the weight off the shoulders of the pork producer, of the farmer. Yeah. And we don't.
No, I didn't want to stop you. I just want to go back before we went too far. When you say pastured pork production, I just wanted to just unpack that and just kind of let us know, or subscribers know, exactly when you say pastured pork production, what does that mean?
It means that the pigs are raised outside, first and foremost. They are not raised in an enclosed structure. They are raised in paddocks, and the pigs are constantly moving and rooting around in the ground, which is what pigs should do. So every 7 to 10 days, our pigs are moved to a new pasture so they can continue to improve the earth and get healthy, nutritious food in addition to the supplemented food that we're giving them. Pigs like to root, they like to dig, and we help farmers to set up that operation so pigs can be pigs. They're not enclosed and sitting on cement. They're just kind of roaming free.
Right. And then after that, Ruth, after they go from one paddock to the other, that earth is actually open and able to breathe. So it's actually healthy soil that you're really creating now where the pigs have been before they move to the next paddock. Which is so great.
The growing time allow those previous places where they've been to get to heal. I like to call it healing. The earth can heal as they move on to, other locations within the property. And the pigs are happier. The land is becoming better. And often, and I like to, target this to people who might have land that's unused and it may have been inherited and it's just sitting there. That would be a great opportunity to come in and do something healthy for that land.
Absolutely, and that's why I'm so glad you're on the show to really kind of explain that program. And from the promo, and we've been running that basically. You should have at least 35 acres of land that is available to do this production. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys come in with the technical support. You help them, design and show them exactly how this should be set up from the water sources to feeding to all of those things, and how to move them from paddock to paddock. And also, the biggest thing you said, and I think that's what I think makes this so fascinating, this program so fascinating, is that you already have a market for the pork. So like you said, when I actually finish growing this and I get it up to whatever hanging weight that you guys say it needs to be, there's already a market for that. So at that point, I'm just waiting on the truck to come to load up that set of pork and let them go off to processing, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah.
That is correct. I think I want to go back to, you mentioned the land, and I mentioned that, land that might not be used. It is ideal if that land is, covered with tree canopy. So it's not a matter of going in, clearing trees. Those trees provide shade for the pigs. So really, and we use a 2-strand wire system to set up our paddock. So it's really not this huge investment in infrastructure of building buildings, and it's a fairly clean operation. Actually, it's a very clean operation.
Yes.
Because we're moving the pigs periodically, so they're not. And I think the perception is that it's a dirty enterprise. They're going to be wallowing in mud. Well, not so much. Not so much.
No, and you're absolutely right. In the time that I was able to spend at the ranch to watch a day in the life and watch it and do it firsthand, you're absolutely right. You guys kind of have a concept with the swine, almost like a cattle operation, where you're actually moving those pigs just like you would move cattle, out of chutes and lanes into, other paddocks, on a few days rotational type basis. So it was very impressive. You're absolutely right. Usually when you roll up on some type of pork operation, you smell it, before you even turn it onto the street. But I was really impressed that when you're actually out there in the way that you just described, that they're just kind of free range doing
Heifer
their thing.
USA is a nonprofit that supports small-scale, sustainable livestock businesses, and we are currently seeking individuals interested in pastured pork production in the state of Mississippi. Applicants should have access to at least 35 acres of land and be willing to participate in in-depth training, both online and in person at Heifer Ranch in Perryville, Arkansas. To learn about our operation, check out the Pastured Pigs playlist on the Heifer USA YouTube channel, or contact Farmer Engagement Specialist Ruth Canada at 501-391-5511.
Footprint Farms is a beautiful 68-acre vegetable and cattle farm located in Jackson, Mississippi, and is Mississippi's largest urban farm. The mission of Footprint Farms is to provide the community access to healthy food choices, introduce our youth to agriculture, and provide training and technical assistance to small farmers and ranchers. The farm is open to the public every Friday from 2:30 to 5:30 p.m. to purchase fresh produce or visit us at the Mississippi Farmers Market located near the fairgrounds in February. We accept all forms of payment, including EBT and SNAP benefits. Looking for a beautiful venue for your next wedding, family reunion, or dinner? Footprint Farms offers a 3,000 square foot facility on 5 beautiful acres, perfect for your next event. For more information, visit our website at footprintfarms.com, Facebook and Instagram at Footprint Farms, or call us at 601-910-5534. Footprint Farms, farm fresh, city sweet. Hey, we're back, Ag and Culture, episode number 6. Glad you're back with us. We're here with Ruth Canada-Painter. She is the Engagement Outreach Research Program Officer. Let me get that right, with Heifer USA. So before the break, we were talking about the pork process and obviously how it's done and how you guys do it in a sustainable way. Can you also share about, you mentioned that the land could kind of have trees and everything else on it. So just kind of what makes the 35 acres prime for doing this type of production if you have people out there who are actually interested in maybe looking at this program?
Well, I think I want to talk a little bit about the training for any farmer who might be interested, because this often comes up. Heifer can provide all of the training for a farmer who may not have ever been a farmer before.
Sure.
This might be a new venture that they want to get involved with. And Heifer has a 1,200-acre ranch in Perryville, Arkansas. Mm-hmm. Hopefully the pandemic will allow us to have visitors in soon.
Sure.
But in the meantime, we have a plethora of videos on the various facets of pig raising. So, that might be enough to get someone interested in thinking, yeah, I can do this, but what happens when the pigs are actually on my property? Well, we have a technical support team that will be with you every step of the way. We have the guys from Grassroots who can come out and help you to lay out that 35 acres with the measurements needed for the paddocks and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. We can also provide assistance with how to set up your water lines. We source the feed not only do we source the feeder pigs, but we source the feed as well. We find a market for your pigs at the end of the growing cycle. So, that 35 acres, it's your land. The pigs are doing what pigs do, and you as a new farmer or you as an experienced farmer will still have access to such a variety of technical support and hands-on. And I'm personally in touch with the farmer all the time, saying, how's it going? Can I help you in some way? Mm-hmm. In-person visits, a phone call away. So we really would like to encourage younger farmers to get involved, or people who might have thought, I'd like to get involved in some facet of farming, but I need that support to really get my feet wet or to really know what I'm doing. And so I would, we'd love to see younger Black farmers come into this kind of thing, because, the land is the future. And yes, getting people trained and understanding that this is a contribution to, in the future, feeding the community healthy, nutritious foods. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a win-win for everyone.
Yeah. It really is, and then helping to take care of the earth at the same time. But what's so important about this, Ruth, is that, as you say, you don't have to be a farmer. You can actually just be changing careers or been a 4-H member. Now you're looking to do more in ag, and this is one way that you can actually start. And with all that technical assistance that you have coming in with this, it's easier to get started because it is a proven fact to how it should be set up, how big it should be. So that information is so important, and a lot of new farmers usually don't have this much TA when they're starting a new business. Yeah. So this is very important. And what you're doing by being there and bringing all of this technical assistance and knowledge is major for any new business or any business to expand. And that's the other great part about it. You can be farming veggies, and if you have the land to expand, to go into swine or to look at that into pork.
And I think what makes this program really unique is that it's truly a turnkey operation, a turnkey agriculture operation. Like Ms. Canada said, they're helping you set it up. They're telling you all the things that you need to do and to show you how to do them. They're going to provide you the farrows, the piglets. They have already sourced the feed for them because they're using a special formulated mix, which is non-GMO, to ensure that you have a healthy swine population when you get ready to go. But I think the most important thing, and I just kind of go back to it, there's already a market established for your hogs once they get to the required weight, that a truck comes and just takes them away and you kind of start the process back over again. So it's a very interesting concept, and I think if somebody wanted to dabble their toes in the water, so to speak, in agriculture, this is kind of one of those programs where it's very doable, and it really gives you a platform to really start seeing whether or not you want to get into farming operation.
And also with that, USDA, NRCS as USDA also have programs that you will qualify for once you become that farmer and you register your farm, your land with FSA. So there's other programs that can be integrated in with this that help you build your farm and to bring that expertise to you. So it is a wonderful program.
Yep. So back to you, Ms. Painter. So talk a little bit more about what you're doing in Mississippi. I know you mentioned that one of your first farms it started in Starkville, Mississippi. Are you guys looking to continue growth? Do you have other new farmers that are online that are getting ready to take advantage of this pork production program?
We do. Actually, I will be in Mississippi this week. We're talking to new potential farmers. And, we want to take our time. We really want to get to know the person who's interested. We want to make sure that it's a good fit for heifer and that the farmer or the potential farmer know what they're getting into. So next week I'll be talking to 2 or 3 people, with the amount of land, and they're curious. They want to know, is this for them? One of the benefits of bringing more farmers on is that they can then network with each other. They can share experiences in addition to the technical assistance. It's like, oh, I'm not in this alone. I can help other people to learn from what I've learned. So the goal is to really bring as many efficiencies into Mississippi as possible. You mentioned the non-GMO feed. We'd love to find a non-GMO source of feed in Mississippi. We'd love to bring on more farmers, because the more farmers we have, then it gives us more ability to help that farmer see a greater profit.
Great. And having a volume of farmers together, again, also enhance the costs. And we always want to look at the bottom line to what it costs us to produce, and the other side as well. But again, the great part is being able to network. So this is for young people, male and female. In fact, I know several of the new people that's looking are young people, and they're females, which of course I'm encouraging more so. If you have land, don't just pay taxes on it, let it help you pay for it.
Absolutely.
To do some things. So this is another way we can get into it. Plus, again, it is that whole camaraderie of actually seeing it from beginning to end.
Yes, that's
and
exciting.
being able to go in and to really see what you're doing and the difference that you're making. And to me, that's always the important part.
Yep.
And I think it's also it's very powerful to know that you're doing this in a way that, our ancestors did. We didn't use fertilizer. We rotated our crops. We took care of our animal. So, when people say, oh, you're doing regenerative agriculture, we always did regenerative agriculture.
Right.
Out of necessity. And so when fertilizers came on the scene and, we started to look at different quantities, and it wasn't necessarily good for the health of the individual, the animal, or the land. So we're going back now to what I like to think of as a more responsible kind of farming, where we do harm. And, I think that's important. And there are, at this point, more and more women going back into maintainers of the land and stewards of the land. So I definitely encourage women to take this on. It's a very, you mentioned the turnkey operation. Yeah, it's work, but it's doable. It's very manageable.
Well, and we do a lot of work anyway. Just like with us in farming, it's a lot of work, but it's smart work, and we have a plan for that, and we're working the plan by utilizing great partnerships and teamwork and being able to share with each other. You know, what's a good practice for you could be a good practice for me, and vice versa.
And
so it makes a difference.
It does. Yeah. And the thing that I really like, and how you guys are bringing this to the 21st century, is the e-commerce portion of it, where you guys actually have a cooperative processor that, not only do you process it, but you also have a regular online e-commerce market where I could go out, anyone can go out and purchase this grass-fed pork production or poultry or whatever else you guys have. Can you talk a little bit about your cooperative?
Yes, we work with Grassroots Cooperative, and we are partners with Grassroots, and people can order various cuts of meat through Grassroots e-commerce, and it's shipped and delivered right to your door. Wow. And it's quite a variety there. And I encourage anyone who's interested. Pork has had a bad name throughout the years, but I would say this is clean eating. You know the farmers that's raising your food, and you know that they're all committed to bringing the healthiest food possible to the table. So yeah, I think it's a win-win when farmers don't have to go out there and try to figure out where they're going to sell their market to. We develop the market, so it takes that responsibility off the shoulders of the farmer.
Which is major. Again, if you're farming, you want to stay on your land and you want to farm. You don't have to worry about this because it is a full circle. You got to have the marketing. You have to have the end user. So by you coming in to do all of this, you take so much weight off the shoulders. I just got to grow a great product, which is part of what I want to do anyway.
Right. Yep.
And I think the pandemic actually made us more conscious of the food supply chain.
Yes.
And how we get our food. And this is not new. People are starting to get more concerned about healthy eating and wanting to join the clean movement and eat food that was raised right. And I Heifer is very involved in that.
Yep.
So that's one of the exciting things about what I do is I get to go out and talk to farmers. I get to go out and problem solve with them and help them to be better farmers.
Yep. And that's a better farmer, better for your community, better for this earth. So, and you're making money at the same time. So that is truly a great entity to be a part of. And I love the videos. I've been watching the videos, going out just to look at and learning, again, things that I could actually put to practice with different ways just by looking and learning. So it's exciting, and you can see things differently. I'm looking at the land differently and what it could be used for.
Yeah.
And to be able to talk to someone else about it, I can say, listen, just go to the videos. Go look at that first. Then let's talk, which has been a big help for us.
Yeah.
And we're so proud to be a part of this.
Absolutely. Our videos are not just about pork production. At the ranch, we have 5 different species. We have poultry, we have sheep, we have cows, we have, pigs. And those videos sort of encompass that whole range that we do out at the farm. And farmers can learn from that in the privacy and luxury of their home.
Yes.
And we often do live streams where people can call in as we're doing the production and ask different questions from that.
I know I've been one of those. I've just loved to call. Listen, what are you growing and how are you growing this? And again, that's a best practice that we can institute where we are. If we're gardening and being a master gardener, I know you understand that. Or if we're farming, there's new techniques, and again, working smarter, not harder, and utilizing the proper tools that you don't need as much of as you thought, just by looking and knowing what not to do. So that's important.
Yep, it is.
Well, and I think we see this as trying to fill those broken parts of the food system needed for diverse farmers to succeed. Because, you talked earlier about some of the history of agriculture and farming. And, I think farmers didn't always get the best deal. And this is a way to sort of level the playing field and allow Black farmers to be successful. BIPOC farmers are very much engaged in policy these days.
Right.
And Heifer, we're not a political organization. We are a nonprofit organization that's doing good. So we want to work with farmers who want to go back to the land and, get their hands dirty again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the beautiful part about that is that once we clean up, we can start all over again. But again, diversifying, looking at your farms, and this could be a big part of, even if you're doing veggies or row crops right now, there's a lot of other potentials that you can do to look at different revenue streams. And that's always exciting. And again, the piglets and the pigs are humanely raised, and until that day they go out to do their product, then what we have to do is to make sure that we're taking care of them.
Yep.
And we do that.
Ms. Painter, hold that thought. We're up against a break, but we definitely want to come back, and I want to hear more about what an EOV is and how that will be a good source on a farm. You're watching Agriculture. I'm LeGrand Elliott.
I'm Cindy Ayers Elliott.
And we have a brand new show called Ag and Culture. We'll be discussing all things agriculture.
But more specifically, how it affects farmers and ranchers of color with national and local guests.
And of course, we're talking culture, food, wine, health, politics, education, and so much more.
Join us for informative and fun conversation with guests from all over the country.
It's a fresh new show, Ag and Culture, every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. on the East, and 7 a.m. on the West.
Watch us on our YouTube channel, MS Footprint Farms.
And on WeBelieve.global. Footprint Farms is a beautiful 68-acre vegetable and cattle farm located in Jackson, Mississippi, and is Mississippi's largest urban farm. The mission of Footprint Farms is to provide the community access to healthy food choices, introduce our youth to agriculture, and provide training and technical assistance to small farmers and ranchers. The farm is open to the public every Friday from 2:30 to 5:30 p.m. to purchase fresh produce or visit us at the Mississippi Farmers Market located near the fairgrounds in February. We accept all forms of payment, including EBT and SNAP benefits. Looking for a beautiful venue for your next wedding, family reunion, or dinner? Footprint Farms offers a 3,000 square foot facility on 5 beautiful acres, perfect for your next event. For more information, visit our website at footprintfarms.com, Facebook and Instagram at Footprint Farms, or call us at 601-910-5534. Footprint Farms, farm fresh, city sweet.
Heifer USA is a nonprofit that supports small-scale sustainable livestock businesses, and we are currently seeking individuals interested in pastured pork production in the state of Mississippi. Applicants should have access to at least 35 acres of land and be willing to participate in in-depth training, both online and in person at Heifer Ranch in Perryville, Arkansas. To learn about our operation, check out the Pastured Pigs playlist on the Heifer USA YouTube channel, or contact Farmer Engagement Specialist Ruth Canada at 501-391-5511.